Alright, we're looking at the third iteration of my Capybara build. This is the Mark III. Slightly longer than the previous two versions, but it comes with a lot more hab space inside, which makes it worth it in my opinion. Alright, well get down there and take a look at it in the shipbuilder and put it together, take it into combat, and talk about it a little bit more. Alright, we're down here in the shipbuilder now. As you can see, this is the Capybara Mark III. If we scroll forward a little bit, this is what the original Capybara looked like. This is the ship that everybody seemed to like. It's a nice ship. I wanted to see if I can improve on it a little bit. This only has a base cargo level of 6,000, held max crew of 9, 29 year light year jump range, 100 mobility, 130 top speed. So we've increased the cargo on this ship by 2,220. So 6,000 to 8,220. Max crew of 8, which is the maximum. 30 light year jump range, 100 mobility, and 130 speed. And I think it looks very streamlined, very nice aesthetic to it. I tried to get everything off the top. Alright, we'll get into the shipbuilder. I'll take it apart, put it together for you, and show you how it works, and then we'll take it into combat. Alright, we're looking at the disassembled ship now. I start as usual with my shipbed 200 landing bay. Directly behind that I'm going to use a Deimos living quarters 3x1. This ship will have 6 of these NG20 landing gears in their wide configuration. We start by attaching to the sides of the shipbed, and then add the rest just like this. The two open areas back here, we're going to use Galleon S204 cargo holds. And on top of the back of this 3x1 living quarters, we're going to put a third Galleon S204 cargo hold. For our reactor, I'm using a Fuser DC403. Go right here on top of the Galleon S204. And on top of the Galleon S204 on this side, I'm going to use an Apollo GV200 grav drive. Alright. Basically we've got our platform now. We've got our first deck, basically is the Deimos living quarters. Deck 2 is going to be this mess hall, 2x3. Deck 3 will be the Deimos battle station and the all-in-one berth 2x1. There's a little cavity right here in between the reactor and the grav drive, and I'm going to use that to hide the Assurance SG1800 shield generator. We can now hook up our engines. As far as the engines go, these are the SAL 6830s. You get this from doing the Stroud quest line, the Walter Stroud quest line that is called All That Money Can Buy. It's a stealth quest, the one where Miss Eklund, Stroud's wife, will basically talk you through where to go during the quest. And as long as you don't kill anybody during that quest line, then at the end, Stroud will make I guess a deal with the CEO of Slayton Aerospace for a technology exchange. And this is what we get out of that, is these engines. If you don't have these engines, you really can't do this build. These are the only engines that have enough maneuvering thrust to keep your mobility at 100. I tried it with some other engines and the mobility was very low. It wasn't really usable in my opinion. So if you don't have these engines, I would recommend sticking with the Capybara Mark I. But if you do have these, this is the superior ship in every way in my opinion. So I start by attaching the bottom 3. You can hook up the next 2. And the third one won't hook up just yet, so we're going to come back to that in a minute. On the tops, I'm going to use these Stroud Cap A's, and this is the port side. If you didn't know, port is left, starboard is right. Another Stroud Cap A on the starboard side. We're using a Stroud Nose Cap B in the middle. A Stroud Mid Bracer will go behind the nose cap. Now we have an attachment point for our 6th engine. Slide that right on there. A Stroud cowling 1A port will go in the last spot there. And a Stroud cowling 1LA starboard right there. On the front of the ship, we'll add our Cabot C3X bridge from Nova Galactic. As far as the engine or fuel tanks, we're going to use an M50 Ulysses HE tank, and we're going to stick it right here, and we're going to cover up the reactor. We'll go to the other side. We have another M50 Ulysses HE tank, and we'll cover up the grav drive on this side. We're going to cover up the halves with these 400 cm ballast cargo holds. We're going to use 8 of them in total. Oops. For our docker, we're using the 100 DP Slim, and we're going to put it on the bottom. Where'd it go? Right there on the front of the 3x1 living quarters on the bottom. As far as the weapons go, I'm not going to go through every configuration that I have. It doesn't really matter. You can put whatever fancies your build. But I'm putting all my weapons down here on the bottom. Oops, I got these off by one. I wanted this ship to be clean on the top, very streamlined look. I'm trying to keep all the weapons, the shield, everything off the top of the ship. And this is it. I think it looks very nice. It's a logical upgrade from this Mark I to the Mark II to the Mark III. This is probably going to be the limit of what I do with this particular Capybara build. I don't think I'm going to ever have a Mark IV version, but I'm happy with it. As I said, it's 8,220 cargo, it holds 8 crew. I was originally using 2 2x1 control habs to give me 8 crew members, plus the 2 from the bridge was 10. I found that by using the battle station, it gives you 6 crew stations, plus the 2 from the bridge is 8, which is the max crew you can have anyways, and it decreased the mass by 6 tons. It doesn't sound like a lot, but when you're building a ship as efficiently as possible, every ton counts. And as you can see, we came in at 4,273 tons of mass. This ship mobility will drop at 4,000, or it'll drop to 99 at 4,276. So we only have 2 tons of mass to play with. And those 2 tons are going to be used in the future when I add the comm spike and the conduction grid to the sides. I haven't got that far in this particular NG Plus that I'm doing right now. But as I said, this is a very aesthetically pleasing ship. I'm happy with it so far. Alright, let's get outside and take a look at it. Everything is symmetrical on the ship, which means it's the same on both sides. My OCD wouldn't allow anything else. As I said, this is the Mark III, the 3rd variation of this particular ship build. I unofficially call this one Big Booty Judy because of the large engines on the rear. Alright, let's go inside, we'll take a look.
Hello.
Going into the landing bay, takes us into the living area. So this is a nice area for the crew to hang out. They've got a cook station, sink, coffee maker. This is a wet bath like you'd find in an RV. You actually just stand here and take a shower inside, everything just gets wet. It's a nice little area to just hang out. You got couches, table, there's 2 bunks over on this side. little bar stool areas, some chairs. Going up to deck 2 will take us into the dining facility, or as I like to call it, the chow hall, since I'm prior military. Little storage area back here. We got the stove. There's a little meeting room back here.
Did you need something?
I tried to get the ladder to go right here, up right into the next level, but ain't happening. Can't make it do it. If you don't want to use the ladder, you can use the cockpit. The cockpit has stairs that goes up to level 3 or deck 3. Doesn't matter. My spraying is cured. Awesome. So deck 3 takes us into the all-in-one hab. Got a little bit of a cooktop here, another stove, or excuse me, another coffee maker, sink. There's 4 bunks, another wet bath shower. And this is the battle station where the crew will perform their duties while we're actually in space flight. Crew has, or the ship has a crew capacity of 8, which is the max that you can carry anyways. Who did I get for crew anyways? Let's see. Who the hell is Betty Hauser? I don't even remember hiring this person. Oh. So I got Andrasia, Barrett, Omari, Samco, Sarah Morgan, and Vasco assigned to the ship right now. I don't really find any useful crew members past this point. If anybody has anybody that they would use for the 7th and 8th slot, let me know, because I don't know, I haven't found anybody. Alright, we'll get into orbit.
Porco, that room of yours better be clean next time I go in there.
Time to join
I'll
the
get
Starfield.
to it, Dad. I promise.
This ain't my getting around to it, Tony. You understand?
Fine, okay. I'm going.
Orbital pattern lock.
Whoops.
Easy.
Alright, we look at the stats here with the 4 points in payload that I have and the buff that Samco gives me. The cargo is 14,241, 8 crew members. The shields with Omari is 2,880, which is as high as you can go. And as I said before, I like the look of this ship. It's very streamlined looking. This is probably my favorite variation of the Capybara ship builds yet. Honestly, I went through about, had to be like 40 different variations of this Mark III before I settled on what you see here. Some of these designs I had were pretty crazy looking. But I'm glad I stuck it out and kept playing with it, because this is by far the best looking one that I've done so far. Alright, we'll take it into combat. For that, we're obviously going to go to the Serpentis system. Play with the boys from the Maroon. I don't know if I said it before, but this is a 27.5% increase in size over the Capybara Mark II and the Mark I. But that increase in size gives me a massive amount of habitable area increase over the previous variants. So it's definitely well worth it. Okay, I guess they're not going to come out. I was out here just a little while ago. I probably should have rested a little bit. I flew around out here for probably 30 minutes, killing ships. Probably killed about 30 ships just to test out the build, and I never even took damage. Ship was very strong.
Are you prepared to face judgment?
You took out that jump drive. Target's grab drive is down. Target's grab drive is disabled.
It's got a lot of firepower. There's a hostile activity up here. We'll try that one.
You have met your doom.
Okay, we got 3 ships.
Critical damage to the enemy's grab drive. Enemy shield system has been damaged. Direction to their grab drive. Their grab drive is crippled. They're not escaping.
And nothing to it. Like I said, this ship is completely overpowered. I'm playing on very hard mode. I flew around, like I said earlier, for like half an hour just blowing ships up. I don't even think my shield ever got below 50%. It's super easy. I do have all the skills. So astrodynamics reduces my fuel cost by 50% and increases my grav jump range by 30%. If you don't have these skills, you're going to have to take a reduction of cargo capacity and increase the size of your grav drive and your fuel tanks. Payloads. And you have to have Starship Design 4 to make this ship. And you obviously have to be level 60 to have access to all the parts. And you have to be level 4 with piloting to be able to do Class C ships. Alright, like I said, I'm happy with this ship. It's very aesthetically pleasing to me. Let's get into the photo mode. We'll take a look at it from the outside. My goal was to get everything off the top to make it look pretty. I think I succeeded there. If we look at the bottom, even the reactor and the grav drive don't show up. Everything is covered up by other components like the gears and the S204 cargo containers and the 3x1 hab. Oh, never noticed this before. It's got the green lights. I wonder if it's red on the other side. Yep. So I used to fly helicopters a million years ago when I was in the military. These green lights on the right side means you're looking at the right side of the aircraft, and the red means you're looking at the left side of the aircraft. So that's a nice touch. I like that. Alright, this is it, the Capybara Mark III. I don't think I'm going to have a Mark IV variant. I think I've reached the logical conclusion to this particular ship build, and I'll start spending some time making some other designs. If you like it, let me know in the comments. I appreciate it. I've taken a lot of the feedback that you guys have given me and implemented that into my design, like these fuel tanks. I originally had tried something else, and one of the viewers had suggested that, and it actually did work out a lot better. So thanks for that comment. All right, thanks.